On today's Cowboy Trap, a heartbreaking house renovation which went so badly wrong it ruined a romance forever.
It destroyed the relationship because, well, she couldn't see any light at the end of the tunnel.
Our first Cowboy Trap saga revolves around a home in the London district of Tooting. The unlucky victim of this unfunny bodged build lives in this 2-bedroom flat. It's home to Anil Desai, a 67-year-old retired hospital porter. He knew he had to totally renovate the flat, updating the kitchen and bathroom, putting in new flooring and bringing the electrics and plumbing up to date. He also wanted to create more space by removing a chimney breast in his kitchen. Anil was chatting about his plans in the hospital one day when a colleague mentioned he knew a builder who would be ideal. Anil phoned the builder straight away and he said he was available.
He came round, have a look round and told me there's a lot of work to be done. Don't worry, we'll do everything. We'll do the place inside out and you won't recognize it. It's going to be really nice, very homely, and you're going to be very happy at the end of it.
Quote also covered modernising the electrics and plastering and decorating throughout. Anil gave him the green light and the builder drew up a contract which spelled out staged payments. Good. But didn't detail the work that needed to be completed to trigger the payments. Bad. Anil then made a catalogue of errors. He failed to carry out any checks on the builder or take up any references, and he didn't get any other contractors round to quote for the job. He paid a £5,000 lump sum up front, and the contract he signed was a joke. Dear oh dear. The builder started work in November 2009, promising the job would be finished in 6 weeks. He suggested Anil move out for the duration because it was going to get messy. Not off. All that's bad enough, but remember in the kitchen, Anil asked the builder to remove a chimney stack to create more space. So, were the right steels put in to support the rest of the stack upstairs? Time to bring in our good guys. And here they are, head honcho Richard Burgess and his colleague Tony. They head straight for the suspicious steels.
Here we go. All shall be revealed.
It's not good news. There isn't a steel support of any kind stopping the chimney breast upstairs from crashing down. The worrying cracks appearing on the exterior of the house may be due to this schoolboy error. One of Rich's men has gone to get the materials they need to salvage the situation. And now it's time for Burgess's boys to swing into action. First job, making safe that danger zone and getting the support wall up as quick as possible. Then they make hay with the RSJ. It's a solid start, but can the good guys help Anil's dream renovation get back on track? Only time will tell. I'm in South London, where 67-year-old Anil Desai's dreams of retiring with his girlfriend to his renovated flat in Tooting were shattered by a cowboy builder. Well, our good guy builders have recently finished their work. So let's see how Anil's getting on. And let's hope the building doesn't come crashing down when I knock on the door. Hi, Anil.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. How are you?
All right, I tell you what, this is looking good, isn't it?
It does look very nice, doesn't it?
Come on, take a look at the other
Yeah,
one.
of course, come in. Come in.
As soon as I enter Anil's abode, I can't resist a quick peek. It's not just the door that's massively improved. Remember the kitchen before? Now check it out. Our good guys clearly cooked up a treat for Anil. And that horrible hall, not so horrible now. The transformation is astonishing. Now, before I take a closer look at the good guy's work, I want to chat to Anil about how he got into this mess. First, I want to hear about the money side of things.
I gave him £5,000 up front.
That's a lot of money.
But I don't know what actually happened. What came over me, I just gave him £5,000. After 4 weeks, after 3 to 4 weeks, he asked me another £5,000.
So 4 weeks, you're £10,000 down.
£10,000 to go.
And what had he done in those 4 weeks?
Not much.
Like what?
He was just stripping the plaster in the bedroom and the front room.
Oh, must be a heavy plaster. 10 grand's worth of plaster stripping.
Yeah. When I gave him money, he didn't buy anything. He only bought a few sacks of plaster and That was it.
Oh dear, £10,000 for basically nothing. Take a tip from me. Before you greenlight any building project, draw up a contract with a detailed payment schedule. The detail should include what the builder needs to have achieved to trigger payments at each stage. Don't hand over money unless a stage is completed, and keep a chunk back until the end. Only pay that if you're 100% happy. I think it's fair to say that at no stage was Anil 100% happy. This must have had a tremendous effect on you emotionally. I mean, you're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah, yeah.
And nothing's happening to the home that you've got all your hopes on.
If I didn't give him that money, he could have had the job. Then I would have to look for another builder to do the job, and I might be in the same.
I've got to say, I've seen some of his work. It might have been a good thing for him to leave the job.
Yeah, looking back, yes.
Not kidding. Looking at this mess, it would have been better if he'd never started. His start wasn't great, his finish was even worse.
He disappeared on a Friday, and when I came in, I just looked around, and there were no clothes, there were no tools, there was nothing. So what's happening? I called him, and he didn't answer the phone.
How much money has he disappeared with?
Altogether, it was £17,500.
And how much money do you think he spent on your home in that time?
About £2,000.
And the builder hadn't just left Anil poorer, this callous cowboy had also left him in severe danger.
If this thing happened before, I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, there are kids living upstairs.
Doesn't bear thinking about, does
Right?
it?
And on top of that, the electrics was not right as well. So I was more worried about these two things.
This place was a terrible job that they hadn't done, but it was dangerous. That was the thing.
Very, very dangerous.
But luckily for Anil, our good guys have come to the rescue. Time for me to take a look at their handiwork. For starters, I want a close look at the front door, and I like what I see. This is such a good job, bearing in mind that, well, the good guy builders were faced with a huge job here, building an entirely new door frame and put the windows in, or try and make a refurbishment. And I've done the latter, and it's quite amazing how good a job that really is. The improvement is dramatic. Look at that hole above the door before. Much better now, eh? Looks like they've weaved their magic on the floor too. If you remember, all these floorboards, they were poorly fitted. There was no expansion gaps. So when the floor eventually did expand, like most wood does, there's only one way that could have gone, up. But thankfully, they've managed to use pretty much, well, I can see all of it again, which is brilliant. Now here, I think this was just open, but the chippers have been in, beautifully fitted, beautifully finished. What's most impressive here is just the attention to detail that, you know, in order to get this far, they must have done so much work. It's really good. Remember that problem with the lack of support for the chimney stack upstairs? The good guys have put a steel girder in, and it's been nicely hidden away. Plus the electrics before were in a right state. Now they've been beautifully sorted. And it was living in one room. Now this is a fully functioning flat. It looks fantastic. And the boiler wasn't working before. Now it is, which is nice. The change from what the bad guys left behind to what it looks like now is striking. Right, onwards and upwards. He's got a shower room. And there's no wires coming out of the wall. So this has all been tidied up brilliantly. No, it didn't even have any water. The shower's been fitted to the wall. I knew at long last can have a shower. Do you remember he was having to go to the gym to wash himself, poor guy? It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Now there was damp on the ceiling, that's all been cleared up. I think for me, this job is twofold. First of all, the whole place was so unsafe. Wires hanging out everywhere, the floor trip hazards. It's the finish. The finish is, well, it's immaculate. Yep, I've got to say, the good guys have played a blinder. Rich has come to talk me through the challenges he faced. There was an issue. There was an issue with the boiler, wasn't there? I mean, that would almost be...
There was. They had actually come and turned the boiler off and condemned it. It was unsafe to use. It was not pulling enough gas. and there's a problem with the gas valve, so we've sorted that out. We've put a whole new pipe in, and now that is as good as new and safe.
And it wasn't only the boiler that was unsafe.
We had a problem with the electrics, certainly in the bathroom. We had live wires hanging out the ceiling.
Were they live?
Yes, they were. They were bare-ended, and we put the tester on them, and they were live wires. So that was probably the most dangerous thing here, actually. I mean, live wires on their own are dangerous, but in a bathroom, I'm surprised they've been living here, to be honest.
OK, so apart from the boiler that was on the verge of exploding and the potentially lethal electrics, this flat was as safe as houses, right? Well, we all know the answer to that. Wrong.
You've got a chimney breast here. Take that out, you've got an entire chimney stack above. I mean, how dangerous is that?
Well, it's very dangerous, really. Although the chimney is built into the existing wall of the house, and that does hold it there to some degree, it's not built to stay there like that. So, like anything, you take the bottom out, at some point it's going to start to move, it's going to start to fall down. It's dangerous, you know, there's no longevity in it, and it could stay there for a week, it could stay there for a day, you just don't know.
Wow, make no mistakes, this place was a danger zone. Now, before I do the grand tour with Anil, I'm going to chat to him about the Cowboy builder. I wanted to find out his side of the story so I could put it to Anil, but that has proved easier said than done.
Now, we always give the Cowboy builders a right to reply, to give their side of the story. But on this occasion, despite considerable efforts, we haven't been able to track them down, which hardly ever happens. What would you say to him if you met him now?
Well, I won't say anything to him. I would just take him to court.
What would you say to someone who was considering employing this builder in their home?
I would say, no, don't even go there, because first of all, you make sure that the builder is a qualified builder, it's a rated builder. And it's got to have at least 3 coats before you actually do anything to your place, or, you know, it's just not worth it.
Good tip, Anil, especially when you're hiring a builder to remove a chimney breast, an exercise which needs expertise. So here's a tip from me. Chimneys are part of the structure of your house, and removing them is a very serious business. You'll need a structural engineer involved and the approval of local authority building control. And if you do anything to a party wall that's one you share with your neighbours, you'll need their consent in writing. Hire a novice to do this, and you're taking a real gamble. Right, it's time to find out how Anil's finding his new life now he's got his dream home. With secure front door, beautifully finished floor, and of course, carefully crafted kitchen.
This is the main event, isn't it?
This is good. This way we can have a little party, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a party.
And even nicer to have a party without the threat of the upstairs floor crashing down on your heads.
You were told there was no steel.
There was no steel, there was no support at all.
No.
I just didn't know what to do. I mean, I was so scared.
But they've put the steel in there. That's peace of mind as much as anything else, surely.
So, thanks for the Cowboy truck.
And the good guys sorted electrical sockets out for Anil too. OK, let's see how Anil's found his new shower since we fixed it.
Now then, we've got some... At last, we've got a shower room we can use.
Yeah, it's incredible. I never had a shower before. Well...
I wonder what the smell was.
Yeah, no, just one of those things. You know. It's really, really nice. Look at the way they've done it.
This was very dangerous before.
There
was live wires.
Oh, Christ, yeah, it was live wire. There was no light. You know? No. There was no light at all. And...
I don't think the showers fixed the wall either, was it? Properly.
No.
But now, running water. Hello.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Well, you've got a home now.
Yeah, it's like a dream. A dream come true. It's a new chapter in my life, really.
Is it?
It's a new chapter, it is. With a shower, with a proper flat.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. I'm really, very happy.
Anil has had a new lease of life since being rescued from the Cowboy trap. Time to leave him to enjoy his lovely new home.
Well, it's hard to believe, isn't it, that after spending so much of his life helping others, Anil had everything taken away from him because of a Cowboy builder. But, thanks to the good guys, Anil now has a flat that's structurally sound and electrically safe, which must be a huge weight off his mind, but also a home that's, well, beautifully finished and presented. So now he can finally move out of living in that one single room and into the rest of his home. Something I know he's always dreamt of, and personally I think something he deserves.